Joe, Brad just said that the Celtics are going to stick with the same starting lineup. Just what have you seen from that unit that with Ojale starting, especially with him guarding Giannis, and maybe some ways that you can counter that tonight?
Well, we've seen it a few times. I mean, you know, it's no secret there's been a lot of different lineups on the floor. And so for us, you know, I think the important thing is coming out, trying to get a good start, be ready to go, regardless of who's out on the floor for them. You know, we know when we step on the floor what we're trying to get accomplished, how we want to play. I think, you know, at this stage of the series, there's not a whole lot of secrets anyway. So it's not like somebody's going to do something that nobody hasn't seen before.
Coach, how would you say the injury to John Henson has impacted this series, and do you regret not going to Thon Maker more earlier? Is that kind of a hindsight is 2020 thing?
No, I think, you know, obviously everybody always wants to be at full strength. I'm sure they could say the same thing too. But you look throughout a season, everybody's going to talk about trying to be at full strength, and you want to do that at the most important times, and that's obviously in the playoffs. So not having John is not ideal, but it's created opportunities for guys to step up. I think that's one thing we mentioned before the series started, was there's going to be players, and, you know, usually I was saying a player, but now it's players that step up and do things that people weren't thinking about or talking about. And so Thon has done a great job stepping in and impacting the series. And we can talk about other guys, but Thon has done a great job, and we'll need him again tonight.
Coach, I'm just curious, for those of us who haven't seen Giannis all season long, what makes him such a special player when he's in the post as opposed to out of the paint? And how much of a luxury is it for a coach like you to have him in a Game 7?
Oh, it's outstanding. I mean, it's, you know, the thing with him is he can play inside, outside. He can handle the ball. He's a screen setter. He's a guy in transition that can bring it up. He can run the floor. You know, he can do, you name it. That's, I mean, he can do those things. It's not, and it's not just like using somebody like Shaq. People said, well, Shaq's just that good because he's that big. Well, no, that's part of it. Like, he had great footwork. He had great passing skills. Obviously, his strength was part of it. Well, that's the thing with Giannis. He is that long. He is that agile. He is that athletic. And that's a huge value for him, his teammates, for us, and that's why you've seen him in multiple positions on the floor. We've had him on the perimeter handling. We've had him in the post making plays. At times they have double-teamed. At times they haven't. He's done a real nice job of reading the floor and reading the situation, and that's a thing that I think tends to go underrated, is how smart these guys are and the ability to make split-second decisions as they're happening on the court.